Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, March 21st. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about them and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And then also for those of you that trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, SOUN. And overall, the consolidation continues, but the longer this continues, the more and more eyeballs, you got to think, identify these areas. And the more eyeballs that have identified the same areas, call it self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. And what we have here, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have watched past videos, but if you have, you know that I've been talking about $7.55 as that main area of support. I mean, you can see right here, oh, that's behind my ugly mug, but right there also bounced, and then today, this afternoon, once again has bounced from that level. So no doubt about it, 755 remains that very key and very right now trustworthy area of support. Now that does not mean that if the price goes back down there, then for sure guaranteed it's going to bounce again. But you certainly couldn't be accused of being crazy or picking some sort of random spot to enter in, because yeah, there's quite the track record of 755 holding strong. So keep an eye on that from a support standpoint. If that level does not hold, then the next key level of support you'd want to watch is that pink line down there, the 200 period moving average. But so far, so good. That 755 mark holding just fine. In terms of areas of resistance, still have this overarching level up here at 870, which is essentially the top part of this sideways channel pattern that the price been bouncing around in. But before you really even put too much focus on 870, near-term level right there at that purple line, the 50 period moving average. So that's kind of just my long way of saying the sideways channel pattern that we've been tracking still is in play. It's still holding strong with the bounce off the bottom part of that channel. So it still just remains a wait-and-see situation to see who's ultimately going to win out of this back-and-forth battle. Next one, FSR, and overall, very rough movement from a bigger picture standpoint, but looking at today in particular, after a very rough start, very nice move in the upwards direction. And as I speak right now, you can see that candle is still trying to push even higher. So all things considered today, a very nice movement here. And now it's just a question of, acknowledging the fact that, yeah, this has been a very nice bounce. But the question becomes, but is there any sort of genuine power behind this movement? And I have no idea, but by using charts, we can make answering that question very straightforward. And in my mind, it's all about 0.126. Why is that area important? And I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but for explanation's sake, if the price were to come down here and then fall below it, what would that be doing to the price? That would quite literally be putting the price right back inside of that range where it just was. Or in other words, that would imply that the price made a nice move and then went right back to where it was. Not the sign of a genuinely strong move. Whereas if the price comes down here, because nothing can go straight up, but if it comes down here, behaves like that, and then starts to curl back upwards, now all of a sudden, what would you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows right there. You'd have lows right there. And if you envision those as stair steps, now you have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. So is this a truly strong bounce? I don't know. But if it is, it's going to show signs of progress. How is progress being defined? By staying up above 0.126. Next one, WORX. Talked about this yesterday and this bullish pattern that had formed. But you can see this morning got the breakout of there and then has made higher highs and higher lows. So that's always good to see. And I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of those lines as they've served their purpose for now and map out a couple new levels. The next main level, and again, this is one of these where I'd call it, those potential self-fulfilling prophecies up right around $4.18, just because you got to think a lot of people have noticed. People have noticed that on Tuesday there, it was the resistance, and then there was a little clump of resistances right there. And even the last 30 minutes didn't hit it exactly, but still got in the general vicinity. So yeah, public enemy number one, 418. So no guarantees, but it's certainly more than valid to think that if the price does come up here and break up through there, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure. In terms of levels of support, ideally speaking, in terms of what would make the chart look the healthiest, that would be if the price could stay up there above $3.15. But from the big picture standpoint, just watch that purple line there, that 50 period moving average. As the name implies, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So it's basically like a trend line that's drawn itself for you. So as long as the price stays above the quote-unquote trend line, then overall, the price is putting in those higher lows, which is what matters most. But all things considered, nice looking chart. Next one here, TRUG. And another one of these levels where you got to think a lot of people have drawn something very similar to that trend line right there. I mean, you look at the trend line, you can see rejected, rejected, rejected right there, which is now you got to think leading to the question of, okay, Is the price going to finally break back through there? I mean, the price as I speak right now is very close. Market closes in about 11 minutes, so probably going to close below that level. But I suppose if you're watching this video and you're saying, well, wait, Clay, on my chart, the price actually broke above there. Well, that would be even a better sign. But right now, it's well within striking distance. And for those of you that like to play breakouts, you like to play stocks down below the $5 mark, very, very interesting setup here. So yeah, all eyes on this trend line. Is it going to get the break? Let's see what happens on Thursday. Next one here, MARA, and wow, what a very, very impressive move, especially when you think about it, that just a day ago, back on Tuesday morning, there was this gap down, very nasty downwards movement, but the power of charts came down to there to that level of support that I talked about previously, and then came up to the top part of the channel today. You can see opening 30 minutes actually got rejected, tried again, broke above it, and then the rest is history. So all things said, very, very impressive day. And I'm going to get rid of that channel since it's been very clearly broken. But now all eyes have shifted to the pink line up there, the 200 period moving average. The price is currently doing battle with it. So that is by far going to be the biggest question mark headed into tomorrow is, can the price break above there and then maintain above it? I do realize that right now, technically speaking, the price is slightly above that level, but the question more so, at least in my opinion, is can the price now maintain and stay above it? If it doesn't, not the end of the world, because as I've already said, nothing can go straight up. But if it does pull back, then that's where this purple line is now going to become a much more important level, that 50 period moving average. So as time goes by, it'll continue to move itself higher and higher, and we already see a couple of examples of it back here, behaving just like you would want to see it behave as support right there. But yeah, anyway, look at it. Very impressive bounce. The bounce continues. The battle is currently here at the 200 period moving average. But even if it does pull back, then as long as the price stays above that purple line, overall the trend is just fine. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free webinar. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to get signed up. Or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the page you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free webinar. Next one, TLRY, and once again, one of these levels where you got to think that a bunch of, because this is a very basic trend line, but I like basic trend lines because you got to think a lot of people have noticed it, which introduces that talking topic again of those self-fulfilling prophecies. And we have that right here. Very well-defined trend line, and the price is now starting to creep back up to its level. So in my opinion, at least the big question mark headed into Thursday is the price going to get the breakout through this area? It's looking healthy when you consider where these lows are. Whoops. So that once again behind my ugly mug. Let's squeeze this down. There we go. So you can see right here was a low, and then there a low, and now here the lows are getting higher and higher. So you have these stair steps getting higher and higher. Now it's just a question of, can it get up there and break through it? That is the key question. So nothing overly complicated on this one. Pretty basic. Trend line. Is a trend line going to break? And worth at least keep an eye on it. So if you like this price range and you like playing these sorts of potential breakouts, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here, PLUG. Overall, a very solid day. And like MARA, not that long ago was all the way down here, now all the way up here. Although this is why I've been talking about that 200 period moving average, because here we have an example of it. Just that's why it's famous, because that level, what a coincidence. I mean, think about it. The price was going up and up and up and up and up and up, and right there is all of a sudden where you got this bigger pullback candle here. Now, I'm not saying that the price can never break above that pink line. I'm just saying it makes sense why that 200 period moving average right there rejected it back down, and that's the location where the price needed to pull back. So more of the story there moving forward, that 200 period moving average definitely going to be that key level of resistance. And then if this thing does pull back some more, that preferably speaking, if the price can maintain above this area right here around 345, that would certainly be best case scenario, but if not, then once again, that 50 period moving average, as it moves itself higher and higher, becomes just an overall trend indicator in terms of the health of this upwards move here. So yeah, very strong day today. A little disappointing that it got rejected so hard off that 200 period moving average, but all things considered, still a bullish day. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and very, very good day on this one. And this will mean a tad bit more to those of you that watch past videos, but if you have, you know that we've been tracking that trend line right there. And you can see this morning, little miniature fake break out of it, but this afternoon came back up here, got the break, and is now officially in breakout territory. So that's the overall context, is a breakout is underway and not just all about building upon that momentum that has been established. So we have now the ideal level of support. What would make this chart look the absolute healthiest moving forward? That would be if the price can stay there above 174.50. And then it's been a common theme, but today had a lot of breakouts due to the nature of the Fed announcement and all that. But you have that 50 period moving average just sloping upwards. So same general idea, but like I said, that's just the nature of the market. So the ideal 174.50, and then overall health standpoint, just watch that purple line there. In terms of battlegrounds, yeah, you guessed it. Once again, next key battleground now to watch is going to be that 200 period moving average, which will continue to slope downwards and get more and more relevant. But everything considered, good day for Tesla. It's trying to recover. Still got a lot more work to do, but compared to where it was down around here, it certainly made quite a bit of bullish progress. Next one, WULF. And not a whole lot to say about this one in terms of like breakouts or anything like that, because in some senses, this thing has just been quite literally straight up. Good solid volume, which you can see down here. So from that angle, that's really the main reason why it's being alerted, is because it's got the ingredients. It's got good movement, it's got good volume, and it is in a popular price range. Now, there is a, for you support, in pullback players, there's some things I can throw in here in terms of if you like to try to play pullbacks. Interestingly, right there at $2.18, so you can keep an eye on that. In terms of next levels of resistance, as we're seeing here, it's been a long time since the price has been up this high, but next key battleground for that going to be up there right around, let's see, what is that? $2.39, and that's just coming from this grouping back here from several weeks ago. But in the very near term, it's just basically straight up. Now, if you get some sort of pullback here, so maybe the price pulls back a little bit, well, then at that point, you'd have a nice little bull flag pattern. You'd have the pullback here. You'd have the nice upward move here. So you could have a potential bull flag. But as of right now, it's essentially just straight up. So you don't want to chase the price per se, but, everybody's got their own strategies. But at the end of the day, like I said, good volume, good volatility, good movement. So if you like these sorts of ingredients, then definitely keep an eye on this one for Thursday. Next one, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So if you believe the NASDAQ market as a whole is going to go up, this one will also go up, and it makes it a very popular ETF. So as I mentioned earlier, the Fed announcement today with the interest rates, the market clearly liked what it had to say. And as the price came up here, blasted up through that pink line there, which is what we've been tracking, and hasn't really looked back. So just a very clear breakout here. And at highs that have not been seen for a while. So let's get this first level mapped out here within a key battleground now, right there at 61.82. And check this out. I mean, the power of charts. So I'll turn that into a quick plug. What a coincidence to go get signed up for that free webinar. But you can see right there, rejected the price. Rejected the price. And then wouldn't you know it, price was going straight up, and then what a coincidence, right where it decided to get rejected again. So is that 61.80-ish mark impossible to break through? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it makes sense why the price stopped there, and that moving forward, that is definitely going to be the main battleground that you're going to want to see the price be broken. As far as areas of support, just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So moving forward, if the price can stay up above that pink line now, that would be certainly best case scenario. But all things considered, obviously, as you're looking here, huge volume, price went straight up. So let's see if this momentum carries into Thursday. So that wraps up the top 10 stocks here. So if you enjoyed what you saw here, then again, definitely go get signed up for that free live webinar. It'll be soon, Thursday, March 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope to see you there. Now, for you Bitcoin traders, let's talk some Bitcoin. One clarification, we're no longer talking about the 30-minute time frame. I'm using the 4-hour time frame. So each candlestick here represents 4 hours. And this will mean more to those that watched the video from yesterday, but the power of charts. Do not take my word for it. If you go and watch that video, you'll hear me talk about how I thought the price was going to need to pull back some more, and it pulled back, and then I talked about that pink line there, and you can see it came down there, found some support, and bounced back upwards, and then look right where it's stalling right now, right at that red line, which I talked about. So I don't say any of that to brag about my talents. I do say to brag about charts as a whole, and they are a very, very useful tool. So again, go get signed up for that free webinar. So moving forward here, really the main question mark is what's going to happen. I mean, as I speak, now, if you're watching this video, 6, 7, 8 hours from now, you're probably going to have a better idea of what actually happens right here. But that's the main question right now. How is the price going to behave up here at 65,750? Does the price get the break, or is it going to get rejected back down? If it does get the break, obviously that's a good thing. And in the situation it does get the break, next key level of resistance you're going to want to start to track is that 50-period moving average right there, which you can see has already acted as resistance. So that's really the two scenarios. Is question number one, depending on when you're watching this, what happened here? Maybe the battle is still going on when you watch the video, but who won this battle. If the price got rejected, then that's where that pink line again becomes much more important, because you don't want to see the price fall below that pink line and then start to stay below it and then separate to the downside. If you're answering the question, well, no, Clay, the price is actually up above that area, well, then you'd want to take notice and ask yourself the question, okay, well, how's the price doing in regards to that purple line? If the price is up above the purple line, then Bitcoin is just in beast mode again and acting very, very strongly. So that's really kind of the best way to look at that right now. But yeah, all eyes on this current battle right now. Is it going to break? Is it going to get it rejected? We'll see what happens. But all things considered, very, very nice bounce off of that 200 period moving average. So that wraps up the video. And again, for you Bitcoin traders, just like the stock traders, what I'll teach and show you in this class 100% pertains to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So definitely go get signed up Thursday, March 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and I hope to see you there. As far as the top 10 videos are concerned, along with Bitcoin, if you enjoy these, hit that like button, leave a comment below. Tell me what you traded today. Give me your watch list for tomorrow. But hitting the like button, leaving just a simple comment really helps out with the algorithm, helps out the channel, and I appreciate it, and it motivates me to keep doing these videos. So thanks for watching. Have a good one, and go get signed up for the free webinar.